I wake up, pray up, thank the Lord I am a win. Got victory, this to begin. His love, that's why I'm grinning. We got the Father and Son, plus the Holy Spirit. Speaking honestly just because. Can't be lying, that don't help no one. This be Eli the guy and Stacy's dad. We talking straight up, ain't no turning back. Enemy be on full attack, but we ain't standing for none of that. Take a seat, relax, have a listen. Speaking real, so just pay attention. Standing tall, no slipping, no tripping. It's our time, now we on a mission.
Yeah, blessed, never stressed. Honestly speaking, number one, nothing less. And be coming from the spot, straight to the top, and you know we feeling blessed. Man, this life we live, keep on catching strays, keep your trust in him, bless with better days. Gotta get it, man, up in every way. Keep it going, stay the same and never change.
This is honestly speaking. This is honestly speaking. We ain't talking for no reason. This is honestly speaking. This is honestly speaking. This is honestly speaking. We ain't talking for no reason. This is honestly speaking.
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome back.
This is honestly speaking.
Yes, sir.
Man, we back at it again. It's another week here, man. We blessed to see it. Man, it's a blessing to be here. And it's a blessing that you're here with us.
It's a blessing, man.
We hope y'all enjoyed your weekend. How about you? Did you enjoy your weekend, bro?
What's today?
Today is...
My weekend, to say the least, was bittersweet.
Bittersweet?
You lose an opportunity.
Okay.
And it's funny we was talking about opportunities.
Right, last week.
Opportunity, you lose and God blesses you with another one.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I'm blessed, you know. I'm excited. You know, energy is apparent. Energy is contagious. Your energy helps me.
Likewise.
You know, I like to think, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa, you know what I'm saying? So
yep.
During tough times, during you know what I'm saying, just circumstances and that like that, it's good to have people that you can count on, and not for any type of favors. It's just energy and just, you know, good vibes and good frequencies.
Ultimately,
you know?
It's the bounce back.
Yeah.
It's all a part of the bounce back, man. Yeah. In this life, you're going to get knocked down, you know?
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a lot of things that go your way all the time. And the perfect thing that you can do is bounce back.
Bounce back, yeah.
It's like,
you know what I'm saying? Just continue to evolve your thought process, evolve the way that you speak about situations, and just continue to try to you know what I'm saying, chase what God has for you, you know, because believe it or not, some opportunities are temporary anyway.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you do what you can with the opportunity, and you know, you can control that's all you can control, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you can control what you can control.
Yeah.
You know, everything else is meant to be left up for the believers, meant to be left up to God.
I'm excited though, man.
Oh, me too,
My
man.
brother's hooked this up. Got us going. You know, I'm not really you know, I help where I can. I'm not really a, you know, set up studio. I just know turn the mic on, press record.
Yeah.
And we gonna make something excellent happen.
Yeah.
My brother has been the orchestrator and getting us going and getting us set up. So I wanna, you know, throw flowers, you know, give him his flowers and say thank you, man, for, you know, the hard work and the service that you've given, you know what I'm saying, to our platform and to our, you know, what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're in the process of...
I thank God, man, for just everything that has been going on with me personally.
Yeah.
Just, you know, the outstanding balance that God has given me to do the things that I'm doing, that he's gifted me to do. A shout out to Dad, who I learned a lot of my technical stuff from, you know, and whether he knows it or not, I'm soaking up every bit of information and that he throws at me. You know, he challenges me to do things on my own. He's there. He's always there to help, but he does
Ultimately, he wants you
a
to
great
know.
job in challenging me and like, hey, you go out there and learn what you can. You know what I mean? Like there might be some things that you might be able to learn because the technology is ever evolving.
Right.
So it's like,
So the technology that he knows, what the technology that we know may be greater,
right.
and more evolved. You know what I'm saying?
But Dad's such a good. He's such a good. He's such a good sponge that when whatever he's dealing with in his field, he's always up to date. He's always up with the new thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The new processors and all that stuff that really in a nutshell basically creates what we're doing. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
shout out to Dad for that. And then too, bro, you know what? I believe in what we're doing. So
100%. Yeah. So that makes it even. You know what I'm saying? And then that makes it even 100% even more like fun to do when you like actually like doing what you're doing. You enjoy working with people you work with.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it's not really work. It's easy. It's
Right.
fun. Like
Yep.
this just creative space. So always trying something
Yep.
new and trying something different. I was thinking about that too. Like, man, where we going? We about to.
And
we
I
got
mean-
some stuff in
and that's
store.
and that's still my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is still to make way and be financially sound in the things that I love to
Things
do.
that I enjoy and
Enjoy to
love
do.
and like doing. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
it may not be there like I want it to yet, but that's still the strife. That's
but I'm still doing it.
I'm still
You know
gonna
what I'm
push
saying?
for it, you know?
As opposed to a lot of people who are like, oh well, I can't do this because of this. Well, you have your circumstances and I
Yep,
have mine. You
yep.
know what I'm saying? I'm going for what I want to do. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Because I want to be happy and fulfilled in that. I don't want to live a life in regret. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, I didn't push to do this.
I didn't do all I could.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't go after what I wanted to do too hard enough.
Yep. And
so-
that you know what? That's a part of really like I would say that's a part really of the structure that that I have built that just God has given me within my own life, just being like, yo, go for the big things. Like don't be afraid to go, for the things that may be a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
Like don't be afraid of those things. God is with you. I'm with you.
Right.
And I carry that with me in these.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying that with me in these days and time, especially with everybody kind of doing the same thing, and
Yeah.
I try not to get sidetracked and caught up into
Caught
that.
up into what other people
are doing.
You know what I'm saying?
And really, it's not my responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to take it where,
stride, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You got to take it to where it fits you.
Yeah,
And-
I heard somebody say, you can't get too high or it can't get too low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like what I'm doing,
Exactly.
I don't get too like I'm right here.
Exactly.
I'm not up here. I'm
There's
not down here. Right
there's an even keel that has to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
and that's, I go back to what I was saying before. I believe in what we're doing. So I'm going to try and do, all that I can to see what this potentially is, going to be.
Can
you
be
know?
and can lead to.
Right.
Because like we were saying, this is ministry. And we feel like our purpose is to touch a nation of people, through our ministry. You know what I'm saying? And figuring out ways to continue to do so, by how we speak, what we talk about. You know what I'm saying? That's just our goal. And
Yeah.
and I don't, I'm in a space now where I don't really, there's a certain way and a certain group of people that I want to do business with and want to work with.
Yeah.
And it's really like my family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like nothing against, because I have a lot of loved ones, friends who I consider family. And
Yeah.
definitely would love to work with them. But I've personally have found a certain quality in
That's a good
security,
word. Yeah.
in security in when I do things with my family and I've seen my reality and
Be able to
where I've been able to go.
be able to see the actual benefit of
Like,
working with.
Personally, I've seen where things can go and lead to working with working with quote unquote friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, they only want to use you for what they can get out of you.
Again.
And so I've like, and so it just becomes real. It just becomes real black and white. Like, man, like go where you're appreciated, go where you're loved, and that's always been with my family.
Yeah.
Through the support, the love, the nurturing, the caring, the knowledge.
And you're absolutely right about that. Like you said, a certain quality that just comes with doing that.
Yeah.
It just
Like there's no question mark there.
Yeah.
Like as opposed to with people. Like think about it,
Man.
Like your family's been with you, and some people aren't. Some people don't get to experience the type of family that you would want to, who's loving, caring, and shows unconditional love. Some people don't get to experience that, but I thank God that I have, which for me it helps. Like it's like, okay, I've known my family my whole life, so I know them, they know me.
Yeah.
There's no switching up. Like we've always been we've always been consistent,
right,
in how we love and how we show love and support, as opposed to people that you just come to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they can change with different circumstances.
Yeah.
Like whether we go to different schools or whether women are involved.
You have to ultimately want the same thing.
Like
you're like-minded with people, and
people just change.
What I realize is that people aren't really hard workers. They just work at something and want it to like produce quickly. Like, you know what I mean? Like and to me, I feel like that's just the world that we live in right now, like a microwave type system world. Like we just want things right away. That now when you start to work with people and have businesses with people, when it starts to get ugly, that's a test of time where they start to figure out if they really with the vision or not. I believe that true quality of work comes from the stuff that you don't see, which is the consistent and getting it out the mud type work.
Yeah.
And that's hard to get with somebody that necessarily doesn't know your background, where you come from. And those relationships are really special outside of family. I mean, you can connect with somebody and y'all can, take off and go. Those are special relationships.
That's very rare.
Yeah.
Like, I can probably put on, because I've worked with certain people like that too, where it was kind of like, well, you just seem like you're kind of waiting for the finished product of everything.
Yeah.
And you're not really, like you said, you don't really know where I've come from. You know what I'm saying? Like I've played a sport my whole life, and now I'm venturing to create my plan B. You know what I'm saying? Which is to become an entrepreneur, which is to, get into active wear, sportswear. You know what I'm saying? Which
actually you come to find out it's actually the plan A. Like you just didn't know at the time, because we had our mind wrapped around something else. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know what? And we're not even speaking to the neglect of blessing, because some of y'all got family out there that y'all can't work with. It's just y'all just whether y'all don't have the right connection, your family doesn't see the vision that you see, and ultimately, just differences. I mean, people are brought up differently, even in the same connection of family. So we're not neglecting. We know that we are very fortunate and blessed to be able to say what we're saying by working where we can say, hey, when they come down to the major things or valuable things, I only want to work with family, because we know we can do that.
And I've thought about that too. Excuse me. I've thought about that too. Like I'm not going to apologize, for what God's blessed me with, because growing up, I used to feel like people would, what's the word? Like I just feel like people looked at me differently. Like my friends, like I secretly felt like there was always some type of like animosity because I came from two parents.
Like jealousy.
I came from because
like
I came
hate or something like that.
like he the square or he this
Yeah.
because he don't talk like us.
Yeah.
He don't act like us. Yet I serve all y'all in basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I still play, you know what I'm saying? Like I still play with a certain quality. Even though y'all come from rougher background than me, I still get dirty just as much as y'all, or if not more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And honestly, it's the same environment.
yeah.
I just happen to have both my parents.
Right. It's like I grew up. Yeah.
I
Like
grew up in the hood.
people think,
I
but then
we went
people
in the
think,
suburbs growing up.
but then just to shed some more insight, people just think like we didn't struggle either.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I struggle. I struggle with my family, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
we were kids. We were kids, and this was on 67th Street, and we was all sharing a bed.
Right. All three of us.
All three of us. We was all sharing a bed. You know what I'm saying?
We got so many stories.
Me
about
and my brother was sharing clothes, shoes,
Like
almost
legit.
drawers.
Like legit, we wear the same exact size.
yes, like bro, like it was.
We wear a large, extra large t-shirt.
It was tough.
Yeah,
but when we was kids, we didn't see it that like this is how great the childhood was. When we were now that we're older, we realize
We
like
just had a real
hey,
childhood.
we were struggling.
Even I had a conversation with Dad. So he was saying like, man, we were struggling. You know what I'm saying? When we was on 64th, we was living in East Oakland.
When we was on 164th,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
when we was out there in San Leandro, you know,
yeah, we was
in an apartment,
in a 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom or something.
bedroom.
Yeah.
And a five size family. I'm sorry, a family of 5.
Yeah.
And you know, but like I was saying, in that moment, it didn't seem like we were struggling.
Yeah.
We had
we had each other.
We had each other.
Yeah.
So it was like that. To me, that mindset, I think, is the reason why we are the way we are right now. Like why we can just.
Why I find solitude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And happiness and peace, just knowing that I can be with my family.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's what allows us to be able to say that we know without a shadow of doubting that we can work with our family. Why? Because we've been doing it since we was kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it wasn't nothing to eat but hot dogs and, you know, and whatever else was, me and my brother would eat 4 bowls of cereal to be full.
Right.
Like, and would have no problem.
And we have
you know
no
what I'm saying?
issue.
You know what I mean?
Cereal
Like,
morning, night, afternoon, come on.
and our parents did a wonderful job
Yeah.
in supplying the needs of their children. A wonderful job. Man, I mean, even still, we still had a big screen TV. We still had cable. We still was able to watch the hoop games. We had game systems.
Yeah.
We had, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when things became tight, we knew how to just come together and just make things stretch.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know this is not everybody's cards.
Yeah.
Everybody hasn't had this
Everybody's
experience.
reality, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, big ups to the parents. Big ups to them, man, because like I said, in that time, we didn't know we were struggling. We was just like, hey, this is just how we gotta.
Like, hey, I have my brother, I have my sister.
Man.
You know, and this is before Rai.
Right.
Way before Rai came
Right.
along.
And that's crazy because even though Rye is of age now, it's so hard to remember life without Mariah being born. So I'd be forgetting like Mariah wasn't around when them times was going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Mariah had hit when we was on 64th
Yeah.
in the East. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I was like, in that span of time, Mariah, she 18 now.
Yeah.
She's about to be 19. So it's like,
Right. If you think about it, 18 years ago, I was 10. So we had a whole
Right.
decade of life prior to her existence.
That's crazy. That's insane. I didn't even really think about it like that until
Yeah.
you just said that. That's insane. And I you know, and that's why you gotta appreciate, especially if you do have your family if you do got family, you know, even the disagreements, you have to appreciate that you got somebody to disagree with, because somebody don't even have nobody to even disagree with,
Right.
let alone agree with. You know, it's just those opportunities. I don't know why that's kind of like keep coming up with us. Like opportunities, I really don't. I think it's just something in the air or something that God's trying to like get to whoever's, you know, listening to us, or, you know, or even us ourselves, you know, that just to, you know, take advantage of the God-giving opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, and we say it all the time, but I don't think we really understand it until, you know, somebody's gone. That, you know, it's a privilege to live life. You know, it's a privilege to be here. So, if you are existing today, there's a reason for it. You know, there's there's purpose for
purpose behind it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, don't just let it go to waste. If you got some things, some skills, some talents, man, put them to use. Share it. We need to see what makes you, you know what I mean? We need to see that. The world needs to see that, you know what I mean? I finally understood that now. Like, man, I'm not supposed to be like everybody else. It's not supposed to hit like everybody else's.
Yeah.
Because I'm me. You know what I'm saying? My brother is him. Like, you know, it's like,
And our callings are different.
They are.
And when I came into that realization, though, like, I became so happy, though, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, I don't want to be like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like holding myself to a certain standard and accountability, holding myself to the standard and accountability God has set. You know, I had to rephrase that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Holding myself to that standard.
Say it again.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
Say it again.
Again, holding myself to that standard that God has set. You know what I'm saying? I feel so much better, and it's a process, but knowing like the discipline that I'm gaining, and I think that's what the life was like. The life was called for us to be disciplined, for us to be consistent in Him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what nobody says. I think discipline is the toughest thing to have, especially when you become of age as an adult, because it's like now you're not. Nobody's holding you accountable no more.
Yep.
Like, I don't go to a school and have a teacher teaching me or telling me to go to this next class, or
I don't have mom.
I don't have my parents here necessarily.
Dad coming in my room saying, hey,
"Wake
it's
up,
time to get up."
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, you know, I don't have them cooking food for me anymore in the morning. Like,
that's over with. When I went back to the house, my room is no longer my room.
Yeah. And you know what? Now when I go home, now when I go to moms and dads, I'll be like, yo, when they got food in there, I take advantage of it. That's an opportunity.
Right.
Okay.
You know them, go ahead, get you something to eat.
I know, and there's never no halting or waiting. It's like, hey, get you a plate. And you know what? Say less.
Right. My mom would say, make sure you wash your hands.
Make sure you wash your hands and get some vegetables on your plate. Put some vegetables on your plate.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're eating your fruit. Now, that's one thing. Mom is really a mom. Like, because as me being a 32-year-old man, she still be telling me, make sure you eat your fruits and your vegetables. And that's grandma, too, though.
Yeah.
Grandma is...
Mom had to tell me a lot more, though, because I didn't eat vegetables at all.
You know, I kind of strayed away from them a little bit.
Yeah.
I used to always eat fruit.
Yeah.
Like, fruit, there was no problem or issue. But when it got to, like, the vegetables, I was like, man...
I hated vegetables.
It's so hard to get to vegetables. I love vegetables.
Mom had to like force me though.
Yeah, no,
I'm not leaving the table until
this guy.
I was
right
that
here,
kid that like
this guy right here would eat vegetables and hold them in his mouth.
I'm not eating these vegetables. I remember one specific night. I remember this was one specific night. I don't know. I was somewhere in like 7, 8, 9, maybe 6, 5, somewhere in there.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. And I remember we was all eating at the table. Me, my brother, my sister, boom. And they ate their vegetables, right? And mama told me, you're not leaving the table to eat their vegetables. It must have been like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Mom woke up. I was still sitting at the table. I didn't leave the table. I was still at the table. I was still sitting at the table like, bruh.
Oh
don't
my God.
really have the willpower or discipline to get this done right now.
Bro, that used to be the funniest
I remember
thing.
this. It was like 12, 1 o'clock.
I used
in
to
the morning,
think
bro.
to myself, I'd be like,
And mom still saw the light on.
I'd be
And
like,
she said,
he really don't like vegetables.
Yeah.
Like, he
yeah,
used to sit there just staring
yeah.
at the plate. He wouldn't talk. He wouldn't say nothing. Like, it would just be like, I don't want to do this. And that, that's crazy. What do y'all, parents out there, what do y'all do when y'all kids don't want to eat vegetables? Any fresh new parents out there, y'all have any?
Right, because I don't know if you could whoop a kid for not eating their vegetables.
Oh man, yeah, because that is a,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a detrimental whooping. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
one of
like-
the ones like, ugh.
It's like,
If the line
first
is so
of all,
big.
I didn't even ask to be born.
Right.
Second
Right.
of all, you're forced me into the world. Now you're forcing me.
That's hilarious.
Take down some
You said,
vegetables?
you're forcing me into the world. Now you're making me.
Now you're making
now
me.
you're making me eat something I don't want to eat. That's hilarious.
Oh man, but yeah, man, we had a lot of interesting. I just look at life, and I look at every day, man. I don't know. I've said this in the past, but I look at every day as an opportunity, and I look at it, and I was thinking, when it's all said and done, and God says it's time for us. We've completed our missions. It's completed our purpose. It's time. I was just thinking, like, man, as sad as I would be, you know what I'm saying? I said I'm so grateful for that time with mom and dad, with my brother, who's my right hand man, my sister, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm grateful of, all my family, all my aunties, my uncles. They've played, my cousins, they played detriment parts in my life in terms of just being something that you need. Just always showing unconditional love. Like, all the times my auntie, my uncle let me stay at their house.
Yeah.
Because them was the only people's house we could stay at.
Yep. For real.
You ain't going to your friend's house. You ain't going, girls to the girl's house. Girls coming to the house.
I may have had a little bit more leeway just because I was the firstborn.
Yeah.
But it was still people that was like family friends,
Right.
type people. So yeah, and that narrative too was very vital in my life, just because it allowed me to build certain relationships that to this day have some weight to them, so some type of validity to it. And I would say that if it wasn't for the moments that we experienced when we was younger, I really totally believe, I don't think we would be where we are right now. I don't think it would hit the same.
Yeah.
If it was anything different, us being able to have to just really be a family. Like,
Right.
and that, man, I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful for it. I thank God for it. And it's an opportunity. That's that O word. Opportunity to really see the good and the blessing and the structure that came from it. Because mom was strict. When we was growing up, she kind of like, they definitely softened up once Mariah was born. Mariah was pretty much got like the tail end of
Right. Basically breezed through life.
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be, though.
Right.
That's
Youngest,
how it's supposed to be.
That's how it is. The youngest, because the parents are now at an age where so they're a lot older,
and they've learned some things.
Right. They've dealt with a lot. They've learned a lot.
They trialed and error through us, and Ryan got the
least
more mature
of trial and error.
Right, the more mature parents.
Yeah.
Because we had the young mom and dad, so it was a lot of, it was a lot. Let me just say it that way.
Figuring out. Yeah.
And that's what the beautiful thing about it is, the type of person I am is that I acknowledge the downs just as much as the ups. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just neglect the downs and be like, nah, we don't need, you need them.
Right.
You need them down points.
No,
you know, you need them.
You need those more than you need the ups.
Right. You know what I mean? Because in there lies the lesson. You know, it's in that mud, that pit. That really, that's where the lesson is.
That's where you learn. Know? Yeah, like you won't learn unless I touch the fire, it burn me. Like, oh snap! Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right. People like me, I had to touch it a couple times. Like, hold on. Maybe that was a mistake.
Ain't the only one.
Maybe if I come from this side.
I done been there before.
Maybe if I come from the back, it won't burn so much.
Maybe I put something on my hand.
Right, yeah, I'm going to put something, right.
I done been there too.
Cover my hand and see. Because, like, yeah, because, you know, you know what I mean? Like, that's...
I done been there too, for sure.
Yeah, you know. And that's, you know, that's a part of life.
You got to... Sometimes, you know, as I've grown, like, older, like in my 20s, I started to become like a... you know, look at the examples in front of you person. But when I was a teenager and I was a kid, it was more so like, all right,
yeah,
I got to experience it for myself.
I didn't really get it until I was like 26, 27.
Yeah. That's when speaking to just not listening and listening and feeling like, as a young person though, you know, we've covered that. Like, you know, just feeling like you getting older now and you experience a few things and got hair on your chest.
Yeah, the OGs would say smelling yourself.
Right.
You start smelling yourself, you know.
Starting to, you know what I'm saying? And I look back on life, man, I just be like, man, what a time.
Yeah.
Playing basketball, playing, you know, high school ball and
you know, and I thought, and for a while, I thought that was it for me.
Yeah.
Like, I really did. I thought, I was like, man, life can't get any better than that, you know? And as I'm going through life, I'm like, man, the best days haven't even hit yet. You know, like that's just how it feels.
And that's how we have to look at it though.
And you just said a vital thing. It's how you look at life.
Because
from here on out. Because if you look at life as a burden, you know, it's just gonna always be a burden to
like
you.
They say you are, you know, like kind of what you think and what you expect. Like what your frequency matches. Like so if I, like you said, if I keep, you know, thinking about how much I'm struggling, or, you know what I'm saying, if I keep if I keep expecting that, that's probably what I'm gonna get.
If I keep paying attention to what I don't have, and you know, because ultimately, when you say that, when you're like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, you're basing it off of what you want,
what you
don't have. You know what I'm saying?
And I've learned that recently.
And neglecting what you need,
like,
neglecting what you do have, which is what you need to actually do what you actually want. Mm-hmm. You just gonna see the parallels into, you know what I'm saying? Cause and one thing I've been a victim of is complaining about things that I can take care of, just not the way I want to. You know? Mm-hmm. It goes back to when I was saying, like, not listening. You know, when, you know, I would be like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. And it's like, okay, you can do it your way, but don't be mad when it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, you know, like we be going through life, and that's kind of why. That's why I enjoy like my relationship with God and in the constant pursuit, because I'm learning I'm learning what he's saying about these different things, as opposed to me getting out in the world and trying to figure it out for myself. And then constantly hitting the wall.
Head smacking your head on the wall.
You know what I'm saying? Constantly hitting the wall and being like, why is this happening? God. And then trying to pray harder. It's like, bro, because you
ain't listening
in the word and taking heed to what this is, the life handbook here. You know what I'm saying? For us spiritual believers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I recently was kind of like diving more deep into that. Like, well, this is kind of like exclude everybody else, like family, mom, and them. This is kind of why
really personal. It's
like
for me,
like you personally. This is probably why you've you know.
That's why you keep going in the same
frustrated. Circle. Yeah, why you've been in the, like, you know what I'm saying, because you're not really digging into the word and understanding what it's saying. You know what I'm saying, and developing what it's, you know.
Bro, you know what I learned? There's just some ways God won't allow you to go.
Yeah.
It's just like, he's like, there's certain things that God gets stern to us about. Where he's like, you're never going to experience that because I don't want you to. You know what I'm saying? And the more we get frustrated with that, knock our head against it. He be like, hey, I'll give you a helmet. I'll give you some cushion, but that wall not gonna open. You know, that door's not gonna.
I'm not moving that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll lighten the blow. You know.
Right.
I'll get it to where you don't go insane, and you know where you don't lose heart, and where you don't.
But you're still going to encounter some type of.
That's not giving way though. You know, I've learned that there's just some ways, and I've learned that through my connection with people.
No, bro. I was just finna say that, bro. I was literally about to say, bro. I learned that dealing with people, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like when I wanted to just go the common route, common way, and it'd be like, yo, like, I mean, I've had people tell me like, nah, bro, you better than that, and I'd be like, but you doing the same thing, like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be like,
and they go back to that point. I can't do what y'all do.
I can't do what y'all do. Unc said it the best when he was talking about the ticket. You know, when he was like, man, you know, God was revealing to him like, yo, you can't do what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then you can't have the heart of being different and unique and try to do what everybody else is doing.
Same as everybody.
Because then you have a passion and an expression in your heart saying like, man, I want to be different. God, make me, you know, set me apart, or that might be a part of your desire, but you can't have
your
that
intent.
Right. Your intent, right? That's a perfect word. You can't. That's a lot of our intent, but
that's what your action's showing.
You can't have that and then create a system around the commonality of just a lifestyle that everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And expect to be different.
Yeah.
Even with your trials and hardships have to be unique and really subjective to you. That when you struggle, it produces something different in you. You know what I mean? Like that's why we don't struggle how everybody else struggles either.
Right. Exactly.
You know? Us being different people, you know what I'm saying?
Us being different and acting different.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to experience.
Now the crazy thing is the vehicle may be the same. So me and you can hit our head on this wall right now, but the pain experience is gonna be different between us because we are subjectively different in how we receive things.
Yeah, how we live.
So I might be quiet because of the pain. You might be like, hey, that's some BS, bro. Like, matter of fact, where's a sledgehammer? Because I'm about to destroy. I'm never going to feel that pain again. I might be like, man, I should have never hit my head on the wall in the first place.
I'm not going to do that again.
I'm not.
Yeah. As opposed to.
The wall's not the problem.
Yeah.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We might have two different experiences, though that vehicle is the same. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by our hardships and we struggle differently. We us as believers, we do experience some matters of depression. We do experience some matters of anxiety and fear and all these things. And those are the same vehicles that people out there in the world are experiencing.
Right.
But the BUT is that we as believers have something to hope for and have something to hope in. And that's what we're trying to share with everybody in the world. You know what I mean? And that's what allows us to struggle differently. That now that when we experience those things, that God's glory or his will comes out of those things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now we can triumph in a way to say that
those things you mentioned are the saving grace. As opposed to like when it's just out there, you on your own, who do you have to lean back on?
Right.
Especially if you don't have family.
Right.
Well, what presence do you have?
That's how, and that gives us the confidence and the ability to thank God for our hardships. Mm-hmm. Where somebody could be like, man, you're insane. Like, why would you thank God for that? You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, man, if it wasn't for that, if I hadn't experienced that low in my life, I would have never been here. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, I thank God for the childhood experiences because we didn't know, we were struggling. Right. But when it came to be, it was like, man, I wouldn't have this mind if I hadn't had that. You know, those things happened to me when we were kids.
Right.
Like, are you crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, and we are 4 years apart.
Yeah,
It's very odd because we really 5 years apart.
It's like we're
But my birthday is
we're
right.
we're 5 years at a certain point in the year.
Yeah, it's like very odd because I'm 95, he's 90. Like those are the years.
But he's January 95.
Yeah.
I'm December
Yeah,
90.
So I'm 28, he's 32. But I was going to say, like, my brother was very well respected. So to the point to where, I was able to kind of get some pre-stripes earned, going to high school and knowing people in middle school before I even got to high school type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to live with that type of security, and like it goes back to like when I was like just the family bond, and that, you know what I'm saying, just being like, man, why would I seek anything elsewhere when I'm secure in my family? You know what I'm saying? Like my brother was already respected.
And whew,
You know what I'm saying?
I had to go. And you know what? Honestly, I laid the groundwork with my brothers and sisters in mind. I did. Because I had to fend for myself. I had to fend for myself so much because nobody believed in a 6-foot plus Wesley Snipes dark afro wearing boy.
You're right.
Nobody counted me in the circle.
And then, but the flip side of that is tough too, because then when people see your gift,
right,
then it's like
it was
I'm like,
it was undeniable.
See, but
and that's where that respect came from. People would be like, "Yo, you can talk about him, but you cannot beat him in anything."
Yeah,
it's like it was almost to the point, and I think this is the reason why I'm so like kind of quick with words and stuff like that, just because I had to be when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? People just always talk about me just because I was dark. I was just, you dark skinned. Oh my God, you so black. Like, bro, I wake up, I know. Like I
right. Like I have eyes.
It's on my skin. It's here. It's not hidden. I don't need.
I saw it before you did.
Right. So that,
that goes back to, though, we was talking about people going out into the world, and people in the world always belittling and telling and listing your imperfections and your faults, and not imperfections, but using what you have and how you are made as a slight or a negative.
Yep.
Let me as a rephrase, because it's not an imperfection. You were
how God made me,
beautifully and wondrously made. You know what I'm saying, and how God created us. You know what I'm saying? So I used to think about that. I used to like growing up, and I used to just like the certain personal stuff we dealt with, like you dealt with. I used to be thinking like, man, why is that? Why is why is it that way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why is
and you know what? It ties back into what we were saying before, when we were talking about having the intent of being different and not doing the same thing. God, in a way, strategically forced me to be different.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Same though.
Like tall, and I was normally taller than everybody, so I was always towering over people. Then I was extremely dark skinned.
Yeah.
So I always would stand out. So the more I tried to hide myself, was the more I became on the forefront of the stage. You know what I'm saying? And I think God strategically did that. Like I'm way more comfortable in my skin now. Yeah. And you see, this is how good God is. This is how good God is. When people used to talk about me in a particular light, saying, oh, look at his skin color. Oh, look at that. Now people love this chocolate. Okay?
Right.
It is amazing to see.
Right. Yeah.
It is just amazing to see.
It's
how
the tables
have turned.
I used to think that too when I was back in high school getting the ball fades. I used to be like, man, Pops is wrong, cut me like this. And then, bro, I remember when I started turning like,
Oh my
when I started getting to like 19, 20, in between 19 and 21, and I started getting a little high, you know, with the taper and all out, and then it was like shorties that was like in high school, wasn't really, okay, Elijah, what's up? And then after high school, putting hard eyes on Snapchat and stuff, it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
wow,
That's what I'm saying. The tables have turned. I went from being, oh my God, he's so dark, to, oh my God, he's so dark and chocolate. And
yeah, yo, I used to get the ball fade in high school.
His skin is so, it's just marvelous.
You would have thought my parents were from in the army.
Right. No, straight. No, for real. Straight ball cut. I remember them days too. I used to get them too.
I used to get the ball
The
fade
ball
eyes.
cuts, man. You know.
Skinned head.
And then, you know, my mom realized, like, boy, you got a good grain of hair. You know.
See, my brother was different because, you know, me, y'all know I struggle up here, okay?
Yeah, this is, look,
But
precursor. This ain't no extensions.
My brother-
This is all me.
I was
okay?
just telling somebody, I said, my brother was always blessed with the hair, you know what I'm saying? The good hair, the genes, right? On my side, it didn't really pan out that well. You know, it wasn't in God's purpose for me to be this way.
It was like,
Now, granted, when I had I've experienced some great moments.
I remember though, that was only like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't even 2 years ago. That was like a year ago. Where you had the braids.
Oh no! I've gotten there.
That's-
But my hair was I just have the nappy hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten there
Yeah.
for sure. But my brother had the braids but that's the good
I've
hair.
had pretty much every hairstyle you can think of outside of a Jerry curl. Like, I've had the ball fade. I've had the Caesar fade. I've had
the Gumby.
I had the Gumby. I had the box fade. I had a nice size boxy. Nice little, you know. Yeah, I remember that. I just had a regular fro. And that fro was like, my fro was huge. Was huge. I've had braids. I've had haircut with braids. And then I eventually got to this where I'm at right now. Just because I don't like getting my haircut over and over and over again. Sometimes I just like to get up and go. So I locked my hair. I said, you know what? Just lock it up, you know?
Yeah.
And this is the irony to it. I have two hairstyles because I didn't lock my full head. So I still have to get my hair cut. So I'm working on that. Just pray for me. Just keep praying for me but I don't have to get it cut as much. Just the sides.
But I say that's going
Just the sides.
to take a growth for a good amount of months.
Yeah, you know, right. And I definitely don't want to go through that stage. Oh God, I don't
Right, because you ain't no touching nothing.
Oh, you can't do anything.
Ain't no touching nothing.
You can't do anything. I think I'm at a limp though where I can like hide.
Yeah.
You know, hide if I want to do it. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Just pray for me. Pray for my brother too, because my brother, he is selective when it comes to his hair. You know, it's very selective. He just doesn't want.
I get the genes that I get. I just not. Ever since I was a kid, it just never fully.
It's like
It
that.
just
It was
never
that
fully-
Luther Vandross curve. It
just-
never quite.
I got to a point where it was cool for a little
all
while.
the way.
It was cool, and then it just never quite.
It just never.
Look, guys,
quite
I'm working on it
curled
now.
all
Though.
the way.
Believe me, I'm working on it now. And
And if y'all got some nappy hair, don't be ashamed. Wear it out, man. You know, don't be hiding it under those wigs and weaves, ladies. You know, appreciate y'all hair. You know what I'm saying? Now,
right, I was telling women,
if you
like,
need to go bald, do it.
and start over. Hey, why not?
Pull an India RE. You are not your hair.
See, but I've been
Alright.
telling women too, like when I've dated women, when I started like, when really dating women and really getting into like women, I would tell them like, bro, stop wearing all that makeup.
The makeup gets me. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, you don't like. I remember I was dating a woman.
I really like natural. Like natural. If you can really pull off a natural look,
And
that is
she-
just amazing to me.
We would chill, like, we were chilling at her space one time,
Yeah.
and like she had a full face of
Full
makeup.
face of
I
makeup.
was like,
Yeah.
you in the house? You're
not going
This
nowhere.
your house. Like, it ain't my house. This Like, you know, I'm a guest in your space. Like,
He said, "This is your house."
why are you? You know what I'm saying? Embrace your natural. Yeah. I'm like, why? I would ask though, like, has somebody made you feel like you need this on? Like, because you don't need it on to impress me or to like, because you don't want me to see your. I want to see your regular self because, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people be living behind this facade of like,
First of all, I want to see your regular stuff, see what I'm getting into.
right. First, yeah, number one. You know what I'm saying? But also, I want to make you feel comfortable. Like, bro, don't
You can't
feel
be
like
out
you
here
need to-
saying you want a real person in your life and you not being real yourself, you know?
And we've seen so many.
I want to see what your face look like, whether it's beat up or not, you know? But show me the real you so I know what I'm getting
Hey, I
into.
want to see who you are.
You don't buy a Honda and it got Ferrari symbols on it.
Right.
That's just not dang how it works, you know?
You
gotta,
get what you get.
yeah, I need to know what I'm getting, you know?
And I would tell them like, man, stop. You don't got to do all that with me.
Yeah.
And I'm also big on natural hair. Now I'm not. This is not this disclaimer because people. I'm not saying, oh, I don't accept women who wear weaves. No, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a very sexist statement.
I'm not saying that at all to
It's misogynistic.
to all you. Right. The feminist.
It's a little bit of
Like, no, we're not saying that at all. in the
progressive
slightest.
prosecution.
We're saying
right
we
there.
want you to embrace your natural self. I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Look at me.
You see all this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no. Like you said, ain't no extensions. Ain't no.
You know, and there, you know, that's what I'm saying. There's a comfort there. I was saying earlier. I was like, I'm very more comfortable in my skin now. It took me a
Yeah.
long time to get there too. So that's why I'm like, a lot of times I run into people who struggle with what I was struggling with years ago. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'd be like, man,
And that's okay. That's okay to like have those insecurities and those struggles. I'm just letting you know, like when you come around me,
yeah.
I'm accepting of.
I'm gonna,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
not gonna allow
not your-
you
Yeah.
to live in that world of just
Yeah, like if you come around me, I'm accepting.
Yeah.
And I love you naturally. There's no conditions. I'm not loving you because you can dress up yourself and put on a face and make like. No, I like you because I'm attracted to your natural being. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
take off that makeup.
yeah, like
it off.
so that's more so my point as in terms of like I accept whatever you consider as a flaw. I accept it as beauty.
And what I'm hearing from you, bro,
Yeah.
right now is that since you accept yourself, it's easier for you to accept somebody else.
100%.
That's what I'm hearing.
And I had to accept myself.
yeah.
And love myself and my natural, you know what I'm saying, being.
Yeah.
And so it made it easier for me to be like that with other people. Like, bro, you don't have to,
Yeah.
especially our women, you know what I'm saying? They already deal with a lot. So now I'm not going to also make you feel like, oh, well, you're not enough as your natural self. You know what I'm saying? You need to go look this way or you need to go put extra hair in. Like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dress that up what you got. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out here
Yeah,
and let's be.
You gotta be legitimate.
And let's
you
be
know?
great.
You gotta be legitimate, exactly. And
Yeah.
you know, and that's I feel like that's a big part of everything that you know.
Let's
when
go
you-
be great.
when you're dealing with you know other people. Is just you gotta accept yourself first. If you don't do that first, it's not gonna go well with anybody else because you're gonna feel like whatever they are doing to present themselves is going to be justifiable by whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times what we're doing is harming ourselves because we're trying to upscale or trying to basically fix something that we think is improper to us. You know what I mean? If you experiencing those type of insecurities, really start to build up those habits of appreciating yourself for who you
just
are.
keep working on
And
yourself.
I'm saying that from experience. You know what I'm saying? I realized that one thing I used to tell myself is when I couldn't understand why people would just talk about me just on the random, I realized and I got an attitude and said, you know, a good attitude and said, man, I'm alive. I have a right to be me.
Yeah.
Like God puts breath in my body. I have to go through the same I got to go through the same hardships and the same struggles as everybody else. I have the right to be who I am. You know what I'm saying? And that used to help me you know, get through those days and then when I started to understand projections,
I was just about to say, like, some people probably aren't even happy in their own, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying, situations.
bro. Once
I was
I
about to
grew
say,
up and understood that people talk about you because they're projecting what's inside of them or on them, I realized like, oh, the joke's on who's ever
yeah,
the
whoever.
jokester. Like, the joke is on the jokester.
Yep.
And I realized like it even made me balance my rebuttals to certain, slights and insults and really just ignorant comments, because sometimes I would see people talking about me and I'd be like you don't you don't even like your teeth are yellow.
Right.
Like it'd be like obvious stuff where it'd be
Or like, yeah, it's like, why are you speaking? Like,
like your mom's on drugs.
I've seen people who, like, I've seen people who are like out of shape themselves, and then go talk about other
Yeah.
people who are out of shape. It's like, what sense does that make?
I'd be like, you're talking about I just seen you
What sense does that make?
borrow money from somebody because you didn't have it. Okay. Then that's when I start to learn about projections. People talk about people to make themselves feel better.
To dress
You
themselves
know,
up.
and I was like, man, I get it now. Okay, now I don't have to necessarily be so angry and like have a
I don't gotta
rebuttal
say much.
to. Yeah, some of it is just like I begin to laugh stuff off. I let it roll off my shoulder,
Yeah.
and then I would proceed to embarrass them in a game of basketball or something. Just something where I get the last laugh without having to really say anything. And that helped me. That helped me accept myself, where I was just understand like, oh, there's a certain sadness or quality of heart that people don't have, that allows them to do this so that they can feel better about their situation. You know what I mean? So that's like, hey, if I got to be your stage to make you feel better, go right ahead, bro. I mean, it does come with limits. It does come with
Right.
limits.
It definitely does come.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Right.
Please don't touch me. Because we're gonna have an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't put your hands on me, and we'll be okay.
We'll be fine.
We'll be okay.
Yeah. See, I
you
never
know?
really tripped. Like, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you just don't get all up on my,
Just keep your space.
Just go ahead and just have fun.
Exactly.
Keep it funny.
Keep it to where you got to, feel better about yourself. But just don't touch me. We good. We straight. We have no problems. You know what I mean? We keep it at that relative scheme. And then down the line, it started to change for me. Like, it just started to change for me once I got that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because once people seen that they couldn't get to me, they really didn't have anything they could do. So they would end up becoming like real good friends of me, or they would just totally leave me alone.
Right.
And then it'd be like, yeah, he is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Virtually, it'll happen to where people would be like, bruh, I mess with you because how you respond to things. And I think this is a lesson, bro. It's hitting me right now. Like, I think this is a lesson that God was teaching me earlier, that your response has to be different as a believer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the more that you're different in your responses, the greater effect that you get on the outcome, on the situation. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like the same. It is the same thing. Like, when I'm going through the things of life, it's when I respond differently, to that thing, is when the thing actually works out for me. And that was just revelation right now, just talking about my childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the things earlier. I don't know if it's like resonates with you or anything, but it just hit me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I feel like that's a form of bullying as well. And I've never been accepting of like a bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never experienced that. And I always like would step in, like, if that happens. Like, I remember one time we was hooping at 24, and I was like hooping with Donnie and them.
Yeah.
And Donnie's like smaller,
Right.
but he's tough. So, but it was like one dude's great idea. Like, he tried it. Like, he pressed up on Donnie on defense. But like when he did it, like, he like, because he's bigger, bumping all into him, Donnie kind of fly back. So I kind of like, hulked up and like, bro, like, don't pull that with my bro because he's smaller than you in X, Y, and Z. So one time, so the next like time down the court, he came down and drove, and I stepped up on like a switch, and I'm solid, boom, and he like fly and fall down to the ground, and so I like hulk up again, like don't don't try to pull that with my brother because he's smaller than you. You know what I'm saying?
Take on
like,
somebody your own size,
knowing that he can defend himself,
right?
Like that was never the question.
Yeah, it wasn't that he couldn't defend
You know what I'm
himself.
saying?
It was
But me as a brother,
I'm not about to
and
allow
where I
it.
come from,
Yeah, I'm not about. Yeah,
I don't believe that like you tried to like bulk up with him, but nobody else on
I
the team.
respect that 110.
You know what I'm saying? Even with my brother, I know my brother is physically capable of defending himself. But if I seen somebody trying to press with my brother, I'm gonna be right there.
I'm the older brother.
You know what I'm saying?
I was very, very protective of my younger brother. I just like.
All in all, man, just be who you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Be a great person. Treat people, accept people, you know what I'm saying, for who and what they are.
Be yourself. Be yourself, but be yourself looking to be better. Don't just be yourself in regards to be stagnant. Just like, oh, this is just how I am. No, be yourself and saying that this is who I am and how do I get better from here.
Yeah. I find it so funny, bro. And this is why I love our podcast, because there's no script or no like agendas or anything like that or catalyst, but somehow we always touch so many different topics, bro.
Yeah, because
and it all aligns.
And I was just about to say that, and they all fit together. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's unbelievable, bro.
I would say if we had to name the things about this episode, would probably be opportunity, acceptance, childhood, family, and
I agree 100%.
and realness.
Yeah,
like being real. You know what I mean? Like
authentic.
Yeah.
Authenticity. There we go. That's the word. Okay.
Go, keep going.
Yeah. Authenticity. Yeah. So you said childhood, family, realness / authenticity. You said family. Yep.
Yeah, family
and acceptance.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
You gotta accept yourself in order to really fully be effective.
And loving and being in order to be able to do that for other people.
Right.
But yeah. Another dope one in the books, man.
Yeah, it's another great one, man.
25?
I hope 25. I hope y'all appreciate the new look, new audio as well, man. It took a lot of work to get here. I feel a ton of much better just
right, man, cuz
just being able to just be free, and being able to be, hands free, being passionate and active, the next couple of episodes I really feel like they're gonna be really, I wouldn't say interpersonal, but just kind of
just gonna start diving
general into like just some general topics, you know what I'm saying? Start talking about the things that's going on in the world. We're not straying away from the ultimate point, which is a relationship with God. But we're gonna.
It's all going to connect.
Yeah, just watch and see. Like
just wait on it,
because we know we just don't know how.
Just wait on it.
We know for sure, but we don't know how God's gonna deliver it to us.
Stay tuned, man.
Yeah, we talk about some things going on in the world, maybe some narratives, social media type, or some events that have happened. But that's just what I feel in my spirit. Just what I'm saying, just to start to regulate, regulate the narrative, and a lot of it. The reason why we haven't been doing that earlier, prior to that, was on purpose, because we don't want to primarily put the focus on things that necessarily don't matter. Right. But we understand that we're experiencing them, so we have to acknowledge them without making them the bigger picture. Yeah, if that makes sense.
100%.
So
well said, very well said.
I wanted to put that out there just because I feel that in my spirit. I feel that just coming forth on the platform, honestly speaking, man. And like, comment, subscribe, please, share. Man. We share the episodes, man. Keep it,
Come chop it up with us.
Any ideas, put them in the comments, man. Some topics y'all want to talk about, man. The honestly speaking nights, y'all put some topics in the in the comments, man. Don't be afraid to comment. If you hit the like button, comment. You know what I'm saying? If you see us on Instagram, comment on there.
Leave us a DM. Come chop it up with us. Come talk to us.
You know what I mean? Potential guests. If y'all want to come on and
share your story.
Something. We're
share some revelation that you've experienced.
We're here and we're not against it. That's
right.
I don't think a lot of and let me say it this way, I don't think a lot of podcast platforms are offering this. They're just more one-sided.
The podcast,
you know what I'm saying?
Will be appropriately opened for you. You know what I'm saying, to share what you want to share.
You can be right here, right in the middle,
right in the middle.
Yeah, and we'll make it work. You know what I'm saying? We'll make it. We'll figure it out. You know, and it's honestly speaking, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate everybody that's been here supporting us. We never will get over that. We will always be thankful and grateful for that. We ask that you continue to support us as we grow and mature and keep this thing going. Keep this ball rolling.
Yeah.
And we thank y'all.
And we love y'all. And we praying for y'all, man.
Let me do it one more time. This is honestly speaking.
This is honestly.
Hold on, I got you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is honestly speaking.
I'm Stacy's dad.
And I'm Eli the guy.
And we are out.
This is honestly speaking. This is honestly speaking. This is honestly speaking. We ain't talking for no reason.